let's do this. When we think of history's most prominent figures, everyone agrees that Jesus Christ is the first one that comes to mind. He's so important that we measure time based on how long it's been since he was born. Jesus Christ's life is still hotly debated as far as the details go. Here's what I believe happened. When Jesus Christ was born is a matter of debate. Traditionally, Jesus was supposed to be born around 1 AD, but evidence points to the contrary. We do know that he was born during the reign of Augustus Caesar, who ruled from 27 BC to 14 AD. It is said that Jesus would be 30 years old in the 15th year of Tiberius Caesar, which was in 29 AD. This puts the birth of Jesus Christ at 1 BC instead of 1 AD. Not much is known about Jesus' early childhood. We know that he would have moved back to Nazareth with his family. The only mention of his childhood before his ministry is when he snuck into the temple and listened to the teachers, most likely around 11 AD. All four Gospels have much greater focus on Jesus' ministry. Jesus' ministry began when he was around 30 years old. It began with his baptism by John the Baptist. After being proclaimed the Son of God, he went into the wilderness to fast for 40 days. He would face the devil and resist his temptations. Jesus often went to the temple to preach. During one of these times, he was praised by the students and offered the scroll of Isaiah to read from. He read from the prophecies of the coming Messiah and announced that they had been fulfilled. Shortly after this, Jesus would gather his disciples to do his first public miracle, the iconic wedding at Cana, where he turned water to wine. After the Feast of Tabernacles would be the Sermon on the Mount, where he would start preaching to his disciples, and then a crowd would gather and listen. After the sermon, Jesus would become notorious around Judea and go around the nation preaching, performing miracles, and offending the government. This would not last. There's heavy emphasis on the final week of Jesus' life, also known as the Passion Week. The first day of his final week, Palm Sunday, Jesus would travel to Jerusalem. He was received as a king. People gathered in crowds to watch his arrival on a colt, and lay their clothes and palm leaves in a path for him to walk on. Everyone thought that Jesus was going to destroy the Roman government. The Last Supper happened, where Jesus announced he would be betrayed and killed. After the feast, Jesus brought his disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane, where he would pray and become so terrified of what he knew was to come that he would sweat blood. This is a real thing that can happen, by the way. If you're scared enough, your pores will secrete blood instead of sweat. After praying, Roman soldiers came for Jesus, and there he was betrayed. Jesus was arrested and taken to prison. There was a mock trial where mob mentality caused people to unanimously vote to have Jesus crucified in place of Barabbas, a literal murderer. In the morning, Jesus was flogged, forced to carry a 300-pound cross to the top of a hill, and was nailed by the wrists and ankles to the cross, where he would die of asphyxiation and blood loss. He was buried in a tomb, and the entrance was sealed and guarded. Holy Saturday was a slow and sad day for the disciples. Their beloved teacher and Messiah was dead. Judas was especially depressed. He realized what he did. He killed the Son of God. He regretted his actions. He attempted to return 30 pieces of silver, but when the Pharisees wouldn't take the money back, he would use the money to buy himself a field with a tree on it. Judas hung himself on that tree. Easter Sunday is when the unexpected happened. Have you ever heard of people rising from the dead? I'm sure you've seen zombie movies, but this is different. Don't think of a half-rotten corpse shuffling around. Think of a man who was dead, walking around alive and well as if nothing ever happened. That's what happened to Jesus on Easter Sunday. Imagine the joy on the face of the disciples when they saw their best friend, teacher, and Messiah returned from the dead. Jesus stayed with them for 40 more days, back to preaching, performing miracles, and offending the government. Jesus would appear alive and well to over 500 witnesses. After the passing of the 40 days, Jesus gathered his disciples, and in Matthew 28, 18 through 20, told them, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." After giving them the Great Commission, Jesus ascended to the heavens and promised to return. The disciples would have to face prosecution for suggesting that Jesus Christ was risen from the dead. Most of them were killed, executed in terrible ways. Some were crucified, some were thrown to wild animals, some were beheaded. Eventually, in the 4th century, the Roman Emperor Constantine would declare Christianity as the official religion of Rome, and Christian influence would be felt all across history for the next 17 centuries until the modern day.